So one of the big keys to building a funding empire, for me at least, has been building a complete funding marketplace. What does that even mean? Well, let me break this down for you. So when you're speaking with a business owner, everybody, because of the world we live in, we have about an attention span of 2.7 seconds, which means we always believe the grass is greener somewhere else. There's a better opportunity, a better option somewhere else. And when you're speaking with a client who needs funding for their business, that is always in the top of their mind. And so your job as a business funding professional is to let them know, hey, the grass is not greener because I have every option under the green sea, and that means I'm going to get you the best deal that exists. And so what that means for you as a business funding professional is you better understand everything on the marketplace. The first thing you've got to understand if you're building a complete funding marketplace is SBA. If you don't know SBA backwards and forwards, the 7A startup loan, the 504 equipment asset-based loan, the SBA Express loan, you're in trouble because every client, every business owner knows, ooh, SBA, that's what I want, that's what I need. It's the lowest interest rate. It's also the most difficult loan for them to actually qualify for. And so if you're going to succeed in this business, again, this has been a key for me building an 8-figure funding empire. You've got to understand SBA because if you don't, your client always in the back of their mind thinks, oh, I can get that 3% SBA rate loan, which doesn't even exist anymore. SBA rates are more like 11%. But that being the case, you must understand SBA. So that's got to be part of your funding marketplace. The next piece that's got to be part of your funding marketplace is business lines of credit. What does it actually take to qualify for a business line of credit? You know, you've got to have those 6 months of really strong business bank statements. You've got to be putting more money in the business than you're taking out. If it's SBA, it's last 2 years business tax returns, looking strong. If it's a startup SBA, you've got to have down payment. Understanding these qualifications is vital, but if you're building a funding empire that is going to really succeed and grow, then it's not like you're actually, focused on every single one of these. You might, for example, be focused like I am in startup funding. That's my focus. I want to have the best startup funding marketplace for every new business owner. That's who I want to serve. That's who I'm attracting. But I have to understand every aspect of the funding marketplace if I'm going to serve them at the highest level and let them know that I've got all of the best options for them. So in my experience, a complete funding marketplace has been a requirement for me because it allows you to do a few things. Number one, you're resolving the client's biggest concern, which is that the grass is greener, they qualify for a better loan. And number two, you're letting them know, hey, here are all the options, and you're creating a funding plan for the future. Hey, in order to qualify for that SBA loan of the future, you're going to need good business credit. You're going to need 2 years of profitable business tax returns. And so you're laying this foundation. And so these are all keys to building a business funding marketplace that has all of the options. So you're still focusing in on the strengths, you're still attracting the dream client that you want to serve, but you're monetizing every option that's out there. And so if you want to build an 8-figure funding empire, again, without having a complete funding marketplace, we would not close the amount of clients that we get. We wouldn't have tens of thousands of funding requests every single month because people know when they apply at 7 Figures Funding, they're going to get all of the options that they qualify for and that exists on the marketplace. And at the end of the day, a business owner cannot ask for more than that. So that, my friends, is why it's been vital for me to have a complete funding marketplace in my business and key to building to 8 figures and beyond. So look into it for you. The more knowledgeable you are, the more expert you are in the business funding marketplace, the higher your odds are going to be successful in building your own business funding empire.